Alright, transformational speaker. You, as a transformational speaker, you create a transformation for your audience. And you'll learn now that this is just not from the outside in, but it's really for other people to experience this from the inside out. And what we're going to talk about now is what incredible power of transformation you really have. In order for us to really get there, I want to share a little story. And this is about an experiment that has been done where a robot was included and little ducks, chicks, okay? So this robot was programmed to run like a random pattern. So on his, let's call it the butt, the butt of the robot, there was a pencil, and that pencil was on a big piece of paper. And then when the robot was activated, he was doing this randomized pattern, and he was doing that on the piece of paper, okay? So I'll just share a photo with you. It looked a little bit like this. Okay, so very, very random. You see it? Perfect. So this was without chicks. What happened afterwards is that when chicks were born, they get attached to their mama. And when they see their mama, they know it's their mama and they follow the mama everywhere. And instead of showing the mama duck, they showed the robot. So they really thought that the robot was their mama. And they were loving her so much, and they were walking behind the robot without feelings, like all of those beautiful things. And what they did is, and please sit down when you're listening to this, because this is mind-boggling. They did this experiment so many times to really check if this is true and if it was not just a random act, but this happened over and over and over again. And this is how you're going to understand what power you have when you really, really are willing to go to that transformative level that you are on. That journey you are on is beautiful. This is the effect of the time that we're spending here together, okay? Because what they did is they put the chicks on, like there was this big piece of paper, and they put the chicks on one side in a cage. So they could not go out, and it was really centered. Now, they really knew, they felt that the robot was their mom. So the robot was still on a piece of paper, programmed for this randomized, pattern. On the butt, there was still a pencil, so when the robot was going, it could draw this line on the piece of paper. What happened is that this randomized robot without a physical heart got drawn to the ducks who were loving so much that their love changed the energy, changed the pattern, and this, my friend, is what the paper looked like. The randomized robot got closer to the cage because of the love that they felt for the robot. Now, do I completely understand what happened here? No. Am I obsessed about learning more? Yes. And this is the journey that we're about to go on. Because when you truly love your audience, when you just don't commit to the skills of a transformational speaker, but commit to the being, to be a transformative person who has what my mentor, Monica Roseberry, calls an open heart. When you're willing to be vulnerable, where you know that authenticity always wins, when you don't fixate so much on what we think is perfection or a perfect script or a perfect keynote or a perfect story, but know that sometimes imperfect authenticity with the right strategy and with the right intention drives so much further, has so much more impact, that you can literally change the biochemistry of your people that are listening to you. It's so profound. And the beauty of this, because you're going to pick stories later, you're going to create this whole beautiful storyline. Some people out there might say, don't share the stories that are still a big scar. So people who can put sand in it and it really hurts. Now, I'm not saying not to do that, because if it really feels uncomfortable, you are stretching yourself. I don't want you to go out there completely where you're freaking out and you will never try it again. But what I would love to invite you to is a next level of radical authenticity. And I want to give you the space, the permission to really share the most vulnerable stuff that's on your mind. And if you feel emotional sharing, then know that when you give, you show that as the example of that being on the stage who's so vulnerable, so pure, who's so brave. And you show your authentic openness. You're giving your audience the permission to do the same. And I can tell you there's not a bigger level of transformation than people opening up to who they truly are. And the beauty is that when people are healing, just listening to you, just experiencing you, you're gonna get it all back. We're on a magical ride together. This is not just speaking. This is not transformational speaking. This is transformational being. Where we're all striving to be a little bit more of us so we can give a little bit more to others. We're all enjoying this ride together. So welcome again. This magical ride that's called transformational speaking.